So I definitely have to make this video because I've been trying to fall asleep for the past few hours and I've been failing to do so. I've just got these words um, constantly ringing in my head, which I just felt that I had to write down, or actually I had to make a video of, but being lazy to write it down since it's 1 a.m. now, 1:30 in the morning, and eventually I was gonna have to do a video because that's the prompting that I'm getting. But I don't like being in front of the camera, firstly, and secondly, I thought I'd just record these lights. The one on the left is from my router, Wi-Fi router. The one at the bottom, the small red one, is from the TV box, and the one on the right is from the TV. So this is to prove that we do have lights in Africa. So I'm making this video from South Africa, Vosloorus, Johannesburg, in the Gauteng province. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I've been seeing so many videos of African Americans who have decided to move back to Africa, or to rather move out of America. And reason why I'm making this video in English is so they can also hear me, because usually I don't like making videos in English because those wouldn't be addressed to my target market, and I do have a target market for most of my videos. The language also proves that. It can attest to it, rather. Yeah. So what I can't stop thinking about is the reason why it all happened to begin with. Why African Americans were brought to America or taken to America forcefully, as we all know the history, and that is something that we cannot change right now. We cannot change it, but we have to learn from it. We have to grow from it. We have to move forward, as painful as the thought of it or the history is. It's okay. It's not as bad as we had it in. Sorry, we didn't have it as bad as they had it in South Africa. So if I was African American, moving out of America, going back home, which is what they're doing if they're moving back to Africa. Oh yeah, another thing I want to actually say is Nina Nabagiti, which is in Zulu, which means that you guys are our people. So yeah, so if I was African American moving back to Africa, what I would do first and foremost is to leave behind even the last name which I was carrying with me for all those years. And we all know that they did not get those last names out of love. They weren't a gift to them. So I would definitely change that history or that future for my children. How I would do it is I would well, after settling in whichever country I would decide to move to, I would get to know the locals, and the first local that I would feel a connection to, or I would feel um, or experience kindness from, I would take their last name, as this would be um, something that can be carried forward for even the future generations. That surname, that last name, would carry history with it. Um, History saying to our children that this last name it comes from a family who welcomed us to this new home, who expressed or who showed us kindness and love, and that is something I would want to carry forward to my genealogy. That is a story I would love to carry forward to be passed down to my future generations. Um, yeah, another thing I can't stop thinking about is why um, Europeans, I'll say Europeans, oh yeah, white people, I can say white people. It's not being racist. Um, so white people had to do, okay, so no, okay, I was going to say it wrong. White people were the best people to spread the word of God. If you want to hear or understand the word of God, you have to hear it in English. It has to be in English. There is no other language that can best express the meaning or the words of God than English. That's what I believe. That's firstly. And secondly, if you want to experience God's love, you have to be in Africa. You have to experience it from Africa, from an African. And that is how the two combine. If you want to hear the word of God, it has to be in English. If you want to experience the love of God, it has to be from an African. And that is what I believe. That is what I have learned. So, yeah. Are people going to America the way they did? Okay, I don't like dwelling on the past, the painful past. Although it is helpful to know the past. They do say that to understand the future, you have to know the past. There's a quote that says something like that. I forgot it right now. I do have it written down, but I don't want to go through my notes. Yeah, so that is basically what I wanted to just say right now at this time, 1:30 in the morning. So I hope all those Africans, also African Americans leaving America, have a very blessed journey. I wish them nothing but prosperity in whichever country they decide to move to. I have no doubt they will never regret that move, because personally I also used to want to go to abroad. I've never wanted to go to America. I've always wanted to go abroad, but looking back now, I wouldn't have been happy if I'd made the move, because I don't like being in places where I don't feel welcome or don't feel loved. And I know I would have definitely missed Ubuntu. Ubuntu, which you experience nowhere else in the world but in Africa. or but from an African, and which you can only learn from an African. Yeah, I definitely would have missed home, and I definitely would have been miserable elsewhere. Yeah, so if ever maybe they decide to go back to America, or if any other African ever decides to go to America, I do not blame them. Of course, it's a nice place to grow. Well, I think it is. From what they tell us, it is. But yeah, I personally don't value um, money more than I value humanity, which is something I feel that America lacks. Yeah. But then again, it's not going to all of that. That's not what this video was about. But yeah, I just wanted to wish all the African Americans a very blessed journey or transition into whichever countries they move to. But if they go to Africa, ah, they will definitely enjoy it. They'll definitely love it. And welcome home.